Grow, Sell, and Retire is a podcast for aspirational entrepreneurs and inspirational business owners who want to work less, earn more, and even more importantly, have an awesome time while doing it. Your host, B.D. Dalton, author of True Gravity, is here to give you the systems, processes, and actions for you to create the wealth that you've always dreamt about. Get your pencil, paper, and brain ready for secrets and top tips from his 25 years of experience in helping people build wealth. Here's your host, B.D. Dalton.
Hey everybody, B.D. Dalton here. Grow, Sell, and Retire podcast, giving you secrets for the lazy overachiever. Oh God, I was just thinking, I had an animal, Tawny, dog, that we grew up with. She was a little wire-haired Dachshund Terrier. Kind of looked like, if you're a kid of the 80s, looked like Benji a lot. So she'd really get antsy and she'd have a wander all the time. And she was very kind of aggressive and nippy. But when you actually put her into a place that was confined, so a small fenced area, it didn't have to be large, but a small fenced area, she felt more comfortable. And the funny thing is, I think that in general, we all feel more comfortable when we know our space. We actually like being fenced in. And what this really comes down to, when we're going to talk about today, is people love fences. We all think we don't. We like to sit on the fence. We like to do all sorts of things that make it so that we aren't trapped and you can't keep me down. And I'm an entrepreneur, so I like to do things outside the box. But the funny thing is, when we have that territory, that confined space in our business, in our daily lives, we actually do like it. And I'm not saying it's a huge contraption that we put around ourselves that says you can only move this far or you can't do any of this. But actually, if we know the framework that we work in and that our employees and partners work in, then we feel a lot more comfortable because we know what we have to do. We can control that space. If you have a huge house, you think that it gets out of control. It gets dusty. I have clients that have rooms and multiple rooms in their houses, anywhere from 10 to 20 rooms in some of their houses. And you look at them and you say, how can you keep these things being dust-free, being clean, and actually feeling like they're lived in? And guess what? They can't. So what do? They close the door. We never use that room. That's the special guest room. That's the television room. That's the games room. We only use that on parties. So what do? They create fences. They create borders, and they shrink their space down because we can control it. We need to do the same thing in our business. And you know I love threes. Grow, sell, retire. All about me. The only thing that's not three about me typically is B.D. Dalton II. But the first thing is, I think that everybody needs to have some range of standard operating procedures. I talk about this in Grow, Sell, and Retire, and number one thing is systems. Because when people do the same thing, the same way, multiple times, they get really, really good at it. It doesn't mean it has to feel like you're robotic, but when you answer the phone, how do your people answer the phone? How do you answer the phone? Do they say, hello, this is BD from Grow, Sell, and Retire. I really love to help people grow, sell, and retire. How can I help you today? Or do they say, hey, BD here, Grow, Sell, and Retire. What's up? Or do they say, hello? I hate that when people say hello and then there's a dead silence. There's nothing worse than that silence on radio or on podcasts. So it's one of the things that's the same thing when we're answering the phone. If people feel like they know who they're talking to and they feel engaged from the exact second that they come in there, you get to an amazing place. In the business at Taurus, we have about 83 standard operating procedures, coming anywhere from mission critical stuff, handling the contracts and dealing with wealthy clients and making sure that they're taken care of, all the way down to making the coffee, setting the room up for a meeting, making sure that we do this, and this, so that it feels to us like we have control over our time. And it gives us the ability, and I'm a big fan of the saying that if there aren't any rules there, you can't break them, and everything is lawless. So if there aren't any rules there, you can't break them. So let's think about this. When you're looking at growing your business, the easiest way to make sure that things can grow and expand and feel the same way and feel like they're under control is if you have some fences. So you don't need to make sure that everybody is acting like a robot, but you need to make sure that things are happening in a regular way. The second thing is, and one of the systems I think you need to have always is some sort of client relationship management software. If it's a spreadsheet because you only have 5 clients, that's okay. But if you have any more than 100 clients or 100 prospects that you're dealing with at any point in time, you need to look at this. There's ones out there that are free, your Sugar, your Zoho, your other things. We use Agile for us. There's people that use Salesforce. But the big thing is you need to figure out how this system is going to make it so that you could work for your clients and your prospects better. That CRM is very, very important. You need to have names on there. You need to have things that make those clients feel like you know them, and also makes your employees and your team members feel like they know your clients. That is a huge, huge way to build client lifetime value. That's when somebody keeps coming back to you and coming back to you, no matter what happens out there. Client lifetime value of Apple clients, because you can't get away once you've got an iTunes account or you have everything downloaded and you have all of your photos saved on iCloud. How do you get away? You're trapped. How do you create that same buy-in, that same thing? And I talked about this before. And how do you create addiction for your clients? This is one of those things. If you can drip on people regularly over time using a CRM, it's so much better to have 6 annual contacts, and those are 5-minute contacts, than one big annual meeting and let's sit down and rehash everything that you've just done this year. And let's look back and plan forward. So clients like fences, but they don't like to feel fenced in. So we all love fences. The last one is, and I really talked about this earlier, but your client calls need to be scheduled using your CRM, using your standard operating procedures to make sure that you are regularly thinking about your clients. If you have a mass client base, so you have thousands and thousands of clients, you're going to need some more customer service managers. But this is a way that you can make sure that you create addiction. They get into you. They build that whole idea of being a part of what you do. I'm a member of X. So I'm a flight member, and we used to be big thing when I was American Airlines, silver pilot member of this, and it got me all sorts of rewards and all sorts of this. What were they really doing? They were keeping me loyal, keeping me attracted to their brand, and keeping me engaged on a regular basis using a client relationship management software that I was actually plugging into. So if you can get your clients and your community and your prospects into enjoying what you do, you will have an amazing business. So remember when we talk about grow, sell, and retire, and guess what? Spoiler alert, book's coming out here fairly soon. Sat down yesterday with the team and worked through it. So we're really going through the 6 spokes. We're making it so that you have the tools at your disposal without having to listen to my podcast and my scary American voice, whatever else it is. You can have the time when you don't need to be revved up, and you can do it on your own time. Learn a little bit more about growing, selling, and retiring. And for me, retirement is definitely not just kicking back on a beach. It's the ability to have the opportunity to have the money or the finances or resources to spend money to make me feel successful. And every one of us has a different level of success, and we believe different. Some of us are Ferrari and mansion people. Some of us are happy making sure that we can make it down to the coast once or twice a year. Some of us just want to be able to go out and golf or play bridge or hang out with the grandkids and not have to worry about paying the bills, not have to scrimp pennies and make sure that we can afford that, not have to be able to say no. My big thing to make me, and when I feel wealthy, is when I have the ability, not have to do it, but have the ability and the opportunity to not say no to things that I want to do. Whether that's go away with Michelle and I going out to the coast and being able to do this, instead of, oh, we can't book that holiday because it's the expensive time. I want to be able to say, yes, if I want to do that, that's what we're going to do. Because that's what life's all about. It's about creating those opportunities. So when we talk about grow, sell, and retire, growing is not only your business, even though we talk about this, those systems, when you grow and you fence this part of your life in, your work, and I'm horrible at it sometimes, but when you fence this part of your life in, guess what? You free up the other parts of your life. So when I talk about energy, time, and focus and making sure that you're doing the right things, when I talked about that in True Gravity, which is another book, obviously, that hopefully you've read and bought, downloaded, or studied some of the free sources that we have on the website. But definitely it's one of those things that you want to make sure that you're ring fencing this and putting this in its own little standard operating procedure, putting it to the side, so that you can focus on the reason that you make money, which is your family, the things that you do in your spare time, your charity, whatever your philanthropic goals are. That's why we work. We work for fulfillment so that we can feel like we've done something. We also work so that we can have the resource to feel wealthy. And that's a big, big thing. And fences don't make us feel poor. They don't make us feel trapped. They should make us feel comfortable. And once we've felt comfortable inside the fence that we've built or the fence that's around us, guess what? We can step up and expand our territory. So if you think that you can control a bit more, then you just move the fence posts. You're in control of them. So really, let's walk back through it. Standard operating procedures. Mission critical things first. Things that actually are good for client engagement second. And the third and the last things are any other business. So any other business for me is setting up the boardroom downstairs for coffees and everything else. That's also, how do you talk to people when you're this, or how do you do this separately? The next stage up was things that are client relationship management, and that is, how do we use the actual software? How do we talk to clients when they call in? How do we make sure we keep up on a birthday list, a birthday card list? Standard operating procedures then get to mission critical. And mission critical, and this is where you start. If you've done nothing else and done nothing else in this, if there are things that will make it so that you do not get paid, lose clients, or get sued, those are the things you put in place first as standard operating procedures. Mission critical standard operating procedures are essential. You'll have those when you're actually making something on the shop floor, but you won't have them for your business. So take that idea of the thing that you actually do, produce, make, and actually put that over the top of your business and say, if you do not tick this box, we cannot proceed to this box. So we need to do that, or else we can be in trouble and the clients won't like us, or we can get losing money or get in trouble. And we don't want to do that. The second thing is that CRM. Make sure you put good information in so that the team knows about it. Share that information. Make sure that people know throughout your team who is important, why are they important, and most of all, and most importantly, what's important to them. And the last thing is, let's make sure that we do all these things and make regular client contact. So if you're not doing it right now, choose a holiday or choose something special. That's not what everybody does. I do birthday cards. I think it's great. Anniversaries, you got to remember anniversaries for some of your top clients. But some of those things, being an American in the UK, Thanksgiving cards are cool. Thanksgiving cards that people are like, what the heck is Thanksgiving? Is this? But it sets us aside. So let's think about things like that make you a little bit more special. So look out. If you want to talk to me, go ahead and send me an email at bdd@bartdaltonconsulting.co.uk, or actually it's .com. So I've got the .co.uk too, but .com is the email address. Look out for Grow, Sell, and Retire, the book. You've got True Gravity book. If you want to book along on a class, that'd be phenomenal. Space Camp is coming soon, so you could learn this stuff online and track it on a regular basis. Going to Madrid in October. It's going to be fabulous. I've got speaking engagements all up and down the UK. If you want me to come out and work with you, you want me to bring along Dr. Marketing, Mr. Richard Fallon, and teach you some more stuff about the things you should say and the things you don't want to get wrong, that would be fabulous. Once again, I'm BD Dalton here with Grow, Sell, and Retire, Success Secrets for Lazy Overachievers. And I want you to also look out for the podcast I've got coming. I've got some fabulous people. Stefan Schiffman. I've got Shane Snow. I've got Mark DeBergen, Steve Moore. Oh, God, it's going to be amazing. So I can't wait. They're already going to start, and they're going to start rolling out at the end of September. Look forward to talking to you soon. BD Dalton, Grow, Sell, and Retire. Talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us on Grow, Sell, and Retire. For more information, tools, or to book one of our team members to work with your team, business, or to speak at your event or conference, visit bartdaltonconsulting.com or email contact@bartdaltonconsulting.com. Buy the book True Gravity on Amazon. If you want to work for the rest of your life, that is your business. If you don't, that is ours.